Hello and welcome to the Thursday Night GT3 Championship from Race Department on Project Cars for rounds 12 and 13 of Season 4. Before we start though, there was a car change for this weekend. Jeremy, who's normally in a Soul Rough, has ditched his car and picked out a nice new M3. But will his results pick up? Unfortunately guys, we don't have any round 12 feature race footage due to a few technical difficulties, but I can give you a rundown of what happened. And Liam took his first pole position of the season. At the start is a bit of bumper cars into turn 1, which resulted in Adam receiving a 10-second penalty. There are also a couple of other close calls for the stewards to decide, but no further penalties were dished out. However, it was Amari who took his second win of the season, ahead of another solid drive from Matt for his third podium of the season, and Andrew continued his fine run of form, also finishing on the podium. There were some shock results too, with the likes of Ben, Adam and Benji missing out in the top 5, whilst Dom didn't even make the race at all. This meant that some of the faster guys would be starting towards the front of the grid, but would they run away with the victory? In qualifying for the sprint race, it was Dom who took his 4th pole position of the season, and he was joined on the front row by Adam. Jeremy did well to put himself in 3rd, with Ben in 4th, and Benji was 5th ahead of Frank. Spam Fritters filled out the 4th row of the grid. Matt was 9th, Lance was 10th, Amari was 11th, and Andrew completed the grid for the round 13 sprint race. On board Ben at the start now, and he gets a great start, slithering through the middle of Dom and Adam at the front row as he takes the lead into turn 1. On board Benji now as we see Ben just in front, and what a great start he got. But anything you can do, I can do better, as Benji gets down the middle as well, as he muscles his way into 2nd. After a good qualifying, Jeremy got a bad start and was down to 5th, under pressure from Frank, as Frank went down the inside. Jeremy holds it round the outside and keeps the position, only until Frank touches his rear left, spearing him into the wall. Frank, being the sportsman he is, waited, but came back onto the track a little clumsily, and instead just decided to carry on. Andrew sent Amari packing as he forced him into a mistake. Dom was trying to make up for his lost points in the feature race and was putting big pressure under Benji. He drew alongside going into turn 1 and made a good move, taking 2nd place away from the Infinite Racing driver. It seemed Lance was getting Frank back after he clumsily rejoined the track on the opening lap. Dom had now caught Ben, and so had a few other people by the looks of it, as Dom went round the outside to take the lead away from Ben, but as he come back he hit the rear of the Aston Martin, forcing him wide onto the grass, dropping him down to 4th place, as this race was now shaping up nicely to become a thriller. At the front, Benji had now taken up the lead, and a little mistake from Dom was all Ben needed to draw alongside the Team America driver. On the drag down to the next left-hander, Dom had the inside, forcing Ben around the outside, and Dom was able to retain 2nd place. Matt, Liam and Andrew catching this battle for the lead very quickly, Andrew was going at it hammer and tongs as he very much muscled his way past the Spam Fritters number 2 driver. Liam was having none of it. He could play these dirty games too, as he forced Andrew off the grass. Unfortunately for Liam, it wasn't enough this time round. However, it was the start of a raging battle between the two drivers. Out of the final corner, and the battle for the lead was hotting up as Dom got in the slipstream of the Mercedes driver. Benji went defensive. Dom went round the outside into turn 1, and he made it stick superbly as he took the lead of the race again. But Benji had now dropped into the clutches of Ben, who had a bone to pick with Dom, and for his sake he needed to get past Benji quickly, and he did just that. Safe to say Matt didn't enjoy his surprise visit from an over-enthusiastic Andrew. Liam thought he got back ahead of Andrew, but only momentarily as he ran wide onto the grass. Up ahead, Benji clipped the curb, throwing his car sideways. Adam dived down the inside into the final corner. Ever the opportunist, Gaz brought into this battle with great interest. But the power of the Mercedes shone through yet again as he drove back past Adam. And cue anyone's guess as to who's in which position. And Murray had finally just caught the back of this group, but then screwed himself over by coming off at turn 1. Frank and Lance were still hard at it, but both made a mistake as they slammed into the wall together. Both drivers incurring damage. And Frank decided to beat himself up about it. Liam was able to put Matt under enough pressure to force him into a little mistake as he took his opportunity to get past a wacky racing driver. His next target was his good friend Andrew. Benji was holding on to third until this mistake. And he found himself all the way down in 8th once he was back up to speed again. It didn't take long for Benji to at least gain 1 place back after he took this gift from Matt with grace. Or did he? As Matt went back around the outside and somehow superbly retook the position. Andrew was under increasing pressure from good old rival Liam as the two battled just as hard as ever. But maybe too hard as Andrew shot off into the wall onto the right hand side. And that's weird. Liam got a position though. Benji out-dragged Adam again down the pit straight to gain 1 more place. Hang on, am I seeing this right? An M3 out-dragging a Mercedes? as Andrew tried an audacious move to try and get back in front. Didn't quite work the first time around, but bullied his way back through second time around. But contact behind the 2M3s. Knew it was too good to be true, boys. Meanwhile, Gaz was looking like he was going to lose his podium position any time soon to Adam. But he hung it around the outside at turn 1. Adam with the inside for turn 2. Gaz has held it around the outside again. Surely Adam's going to get a better drag. That's his title credentials showing right there. Somehow holding the position. Oh, Liam, it's not been your day, has it, son? Oh, Benji, it's not been your day either, has it? Give you a 10 out of 10 for the pirouette, though. Unfortunately, there was no more battles at the front, but Dom did come home to get his first victory of the season ahead of Ben. Gazza held on just about to get third. Liam came home in 5th ahead of Amari, who had a quiet race into 6th. Matt was 7th. Andrew was 8th. Benji thought it was funny by stopping on the line and coming home 9th. Just ahead of Lance, who picked up the final point. With his 6th podium of the season, Gaz has passed the 200 point mark and has pushed his lead out again after Andrew had a disappointing sprint race result. Ben has stretched his gap to 8 points over Liam for 3rd, while Benji only picked up 2 points all weekend, dropping him to 5th. Adam remains 6th, but with Amari and Dom both winning this weekend, he's now got a big fight on his hands. Matt picked up a good haul of points, including the 2nd in the feature race to pull clear of Lance in 10th. And Jeremy and Frank both scored points as well, meaning that everyone scored points at some point during the race weekend. Well done, boys. As well as Gaz passing the 200 point mark, his team, Spamford Racing, have now passed the 300 point mark to pull them even further away from Infinite Racing in 2nd place. O&M had a good weekend as they reached 200 points. Team America closed just 2 points on Max Power Racing, but the gap is now at 8. And Wacky Racing have also reached a milestone as they hit a century in 1 points. First of all, sorry again for the lack of feature race, however the sprint race was very entertaining. Join us next time where we are at the home of testing, Catalonia, and let's just hope it's not processional, as we know it all can be.